Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it's going to be going over a hot topic going on in the United States right now, which is a $1,200 stimulus check. Now, the reason I wanted to make this video is because many of you have received the $1,200 stimulus check. Unless you're the guy that woke up to his bank account filled with $8.2 million, basically mistakenly sent from the IRS. But if you're not that guy, then yeah, you should have got your $1,200 stimulus check by now. If not, no worries. You should be next in line considering you did the correct steps, have your direct deposit with the IRS already, have the 2018 or 2019 file taxes already. In that case, just hold tight. You'll be the next one to get your check. But more specifically, $1,200. Well, let's face it, a lot of you guys are going to, well, let's just say not spend it correctly. And look, there's no right or wrong way to spend your money. It's your money. Everybody understands. However, there are some ways, I think, that are beneficial to spend your $1,200 stimulus check. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to make today's video. $1,200 can be a lot of money for some people. $1,200 can be a drop in the bucket for others. And $1,200, let's face it, some people don't actually need it that receive that check. However, nonetheless, if you receive the check, there's a couple ways that I would personally do and consider spending this $1,200, and let's get into the video. So the first way that I would spend my stimulus check is making sure that I have all my essentials covered. Now, what I mean by essentials, which you guys probably already know, is I gotta make sure food's on the table for me, my family members, and the peers that I'm taking care of. I gotta make sure that I'm all set with cleaning supplies, protective gear if some of your states are requiring that. I know New York recently just said that they have to be wearing a mask. I think it's when shopping or maybe in general as of now. However, just make sure you have your essentials. Make sure you're taking care of the people that need to be taken care of. Make sure that you're following up with those people. You're making sure your friends and family are taken care of. So that's the biggest thing. I just want you guys to understand that this stimulus check is solely for the purpose of caring and solely for the purpose of making sure that you can use that money to your benefit to put food on the table or to do something essential that you actually need the money for. Set apart some of the extreme essentials like food, shelter, and protective. The other side of the essentials is some of your personal debt, high interest debt specifically, which is usually credit cards. So if you have some credit card debt, this would be a perfect time to put some money towards it, or at least maybe even all of the money towards this specific debt. If not credit card debt, then the next thing I would jump to is a partial paying off your student loans. Guys, let's face it, you're going to have to pay off your student debt at some point, so you might as well just start now. The second thing that I would spend or use my $1,200 for is starting an emergency fund. Now, I talked about an emergency one in my previous videos. I'll put the link to it down below or it'll be somewhere on the screen. But essentially, what I was saying in that video was four things that I would do to prepare for the next recession, and having an emergency fund was one of them. Now, this isn't necessarily how to prepare for the next recession, but we don't know how long this is going to go on. Things seem to be curving out as far as the trend in terms of how many people are dying from the virus and things of that nature. However, we do not know how far this is going to go. So with that being said, starting an emergency fund or building on top of your emergency fund that you may already have actually might be really beneficial, both short-term and long-term. I mean, worst case scenario, you have $1,200 that's saved up somewhere, kind of waited out to see if it's something that you should have in your emergency fund or use. But I mean, like I said, worst case scenario, it's just $1,200 that you put into savings. Now, of course, the whole purpose of that is to actually keep it in an emergency fund in the event of something like this happening again, or in the event of more unemployment. If you haven't got unemployed yet, it could happen to you, it could happen to me, it could happen to everybody that we know essentially. So having the $1,200 to build towards an emergency fund or to add on top of an emergency fund could be very beneficial and advantageous for a lot of people. Now, the third thing I would spend my $1,200 stimulus check on is just helping others. What I mean by that is, obviously, this is supposed to be, once you got your essentials, once you got your emergency fund, or if that's already in place, then having $1,200 instead of just spending it on something like brand new shoes or a new, gaming console, whatever it may be, really consider spending that money to help others. There's plenty of local businesses that are going out of business left and right that can't pay their employees, that don't know, essentially where they're going to get their money from in the coming weeks, months, and years. And so spending your $1,200 on local businesses, spreading it across your community at some point, just really dig deep and understand that it's not all about just taking care of yourself. Of course, that's extremely important. And once you have that down, or if you already do have that down and you are fortunate enough that that $1,200 is really just free money essentially. Really consider giving back. Understand, really think about before you spend $1,200, before you spend any money in general, just really think of where it's going to go. How is that money going to influence other people? How is that money going to help and benefit your local business, your local coffee shop? Or whatever it may be. Just understand that $1,200 could go a long way if all of us get together as a community, as people in general, and actually start to focus on where that money is going to go, how to implement it into other communities and businesses. It could go a long way and really help the American economy. Whew. Oh, that is a lot of talking. All right, let's get back to it. Now, the fourth thing I would spend my $1,200 stimulus check on, if I've had the emergency fund done, I'm helping communities, I'm making sure essentials are good on my end, and I would start to maybe looking into and investing it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do with your money. Of course, invest at your own risk. However, there is some things that could benefit right now investing in the stock market, index funds, a Roth IRA, opening one up. I mean, guys, there's so many things you can use this stimulus check, really double your $1,200 or at least make some money off of it. Down in the link below, I have a link to Robinhood. You can go ahead and check that out. That's what I use to invest in the stock market myself. Do get a free stock, a free share of a stock. So do I. So full disclosure, obviously. It's going to give me some money just as much as it's going to give you money. Yeah, go ahead and look around at the stock market. I mean, there's a lot of stocks that are on sell right now per se, where they're at their all-time lows, or at least lows since the past 3 years or whatever it may be. There's plenty of things to choose from. You don't have to put all your money in the market. Maybe you just want to put a little bit in the market, then some more into index fund, maybe all of it in a Roth IRA to help build that up. So visit the description down below. You'll find the link where you can get your free share along with some other cool links to help fund the channel. All right, guys, and there you have it. Those are just some ways that I would personally spend or consider spending my $1,200 stimulus check on. I hope that you take some of these ideas and implement them yourself, based on your own risk or whatever it may be. But guys, really understand that this money is genuinely supposed to be helping you at the time of crisis. And so really consider using it for local businesses, really consider using it for yourself to help yourself, really consider it helping other people as well. Just try not to go out there and spend it on something that you've just been really wanting to buy on Amazon. Just really try to spend it the way it was meant to be spent. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Go ahead and visit the description down below for some cool links to help fund the channel, including getting that free stock I was talking about. But with all that being said, I appreciate you watching today. Go ahead and look out for more content on MyrickTV.